So here we are going to start the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland, we will study the thyroid gland in the following manner, step by step. First of all, we will see the functional anatomy of the thyroid gland. Then we will see the thyroid hormone, its general feature and the function of thyroid hormone. And then third, at the last, we will see the applied aspects of thyroid gland. Now come to the first point, that is the functional anatomy of the thyroid gland. So the thyroid gland, we will see it in the gross anatomy of thyroid gland and the histological features of thyroid gland. In gross anatomy, the thyroid gland is made up of two lobes. One is right lobe and the second is called as left lobe, and both the lobes are connected with each other with a narrow isthmus. So thyroid gland is situated just below the larynx on either side of the trachea. The thyroid gland is the largest endocrine gland in the body that has the weight near about 12 to 15 gram in adult. If we see the blood supply, it receives the high blood supply, that is around 400 to 600 ml per 100 gram of tissue per minute. Now come to the histological feature of thyroid gland, and that is very interesting point about the thyroid gland. Each lobes of thyroid gland are divided into the lobules with the help of fibrous sepals, and each lobule are made up of collection of acinus or follicles. Each follicle contains the follicular cells or acinar cells that rest on the basement membrane, and these follicular cells borders the lumen that contain the colloid of thyroid gland. The second cell that present in the lobules are the parafollicular cells or C cells, but these cells never border the lumen or the colloid. Instead, these cells present in between the basement membrane and the follicular cell or in the parenchyma of the lobule. Now let's see one by one each and every cells of this lobule. Now first come to the acinar cell or follicular cell. As I said that it contains the follicular cells that is usually in moderately active form or in normal situation is in shape of cuboidal cell. So the shape and size of these follicular cells vary according to the activity of thyroid gland. If thyroid gland is moderately active or in normal situation, these follicular cells are in the shape of cuboidal cells, and the lumen is filled up with moderate amount of colloid substance secreted from the follicular cells or acinar cells. If the thyroid gland is in highly active stage, then these cuboidal epithelial cells converted into the columnar cells and secrete high amount of colloidal substance into the lumen. And if this thyroid gland is in inactive form, then these follicular cells flattens and the amount of colloidal substance inside the lumen is very less. So see here, on the basis of stage of activity of thyroid gland, these follicular cells vary in shape and size, and also colloidal substance vary in its amount. Now come to the colloidal substance of the follicular cell. So this colloidal substance is a homogeneous material that fills cavity of each follicle. When stimulated, the follicles are depleted of colloid, and when unstimulated, the follicles accumulate this colloid substance. The major constituent of colloid is thyroglobulin. The major constituent of the colloid is thyroglobulin, that is a glycoprotein and having molecular weight of about 660,000 Dalton. So this was all about the follicular cells of thyroid gland. And this is the parafollicular cell of thyroid gland or C cell, and it secretes the calcitonin. These do not border on the follicular lumen. So This is the calcitonin secreting cell in the thyroid gland. And each and every follicle are surrounded by the abundant capillary network that gives blood supply to these follicles and also provide abundant amount of iodide to these follicles to form the thyroid hormones.